best that you heed to them. Because see, when he has to step in and intervene, no matter how it gets done, no matter how it gets resolved, no matter who gets affected, his will be done. What he sets out to do, it will be done. So sometimes being reluctant, not being open to change, it has hurt us. We've hurt ourselves. People have hurt us. And at the end of the day, it's left a hole in your soul. But you have to understand that when God comes in and he closes certain doors in your life, certain doors to people who once had access to you, certain doors to people who used to hang around, situations, certain doors of situations that you were in. He closes these doors in order to get you to where it is that he needs you to be in life. It's not always easy. It's not fun. And it's not a comfortable phase to be in when God has to step in and intervene and closes these doors. But we've all gotten signs. We've all gotten the warnings. Before he had to come in and close these doors, he gave us time. He showed us who people were. Now, that's not to hold anything against you. It's to open your eyes to see the bigger picture. Through it all, he was going to get you to where it is he needed you to be. But he needed you to wake up and he needed you to see certain things about people. These are people who've gone against you. These are people who you've loved. These are people who you used to roll with. These are people who you once considered friends. People who you consider family. He needs you to change your certain beliefs that you had about having to be loyal to people who wasn't loyal to you. Seeing these people in a certain light that they will never see you in. Continuously going back to people who don't care to hold on to you, who don't care to do right by you. Continuously being oblivious and blind to the fact of people's hatred towards you, people's envy and jealous towards you, because you love them so. Because you want to be blind to certain things because you want to see what you want to see. This is God's message to you, that you got to let it go. And that you got to stop asking him why and thank him for the experience. He ain't hearing enough thank yous. He hearing a whole lot of whys and not enough thank yous. He hearing a whole lot of why this friend had to do this and why so-and-so had to do this and why this person working this up in my life and why is this person not wanting me to step into this, Lord, and why did this person work this up against my life behind my back but play one way in front of my face? Why are these people so weird, God? Why do these people continuously want to fight to be up in my life but knowing that they mean me no well? Sometimes it's hard when he try to show you certain things about certain folk that he don't want in your life. People of whom you have to back away from, because they mean you no good. There are certain people who opened up the doorways of evil to enter into your life. They opened up these doorways for evil to enter into your life because they was weak in spirit. Let me tell you something about a bully. When you go through life, and we've all had our shares of dealing with them, these bullies, at once upon a time, we deemed them to be superior than us, right? We deemed them to be on a certain level. We deemed them to be better, to be stronger than us. So we took certain things from these people and we allowed them to do certain things to us. But in all actuality, what God is trying to show you is these bullies acted in this manner because they knew and they had a chip on their shoulder. And knowing that you were better, they saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself, of what God has always seen in you, was trying to get you to see. But see, the thing about a bully is the reason why they do these certain things to you is because they want you to feel less than them. They want you to feel how they feel. They already deem themselves of being less than. They want you to feel the same way. They want you to feel less than. They want you to feel unworthy. They are intimidated because certain people saw where your life was going to go. I'm saying something. Go back on my message where I said there will be no rest for the wicked. These people knew where your life was going to go before you even knew where your life was going to go. And they were working with people working with people, relentlessly working with people to ensure that you would not step into the things that God had for you. Stop asking him why. Thank him for the experience, because see, even though it was not supposed to go that way, there are a lot of people who are shocked at the fact that they weren't able to stop you, because what they were sending your way and what was in the works should have stopped you, but it didn't. In some ways, in certain areas, at once upon a time, your enemies was able to have their way with you. Your enemies at once upon a time was getting their way. Your enemies at once upon a time were winning over you, had control over you. But when God intervened, all of that had came to a complete stop. Because see, one thing that you have to realize in your enemies thinking that them opening up these doorways to the evil to enter into your life, they thought it was going to hurt you. And at one point in time, they was having their way. But let me tell you something. That evil that they unleashed in your life, they weren't able to control it. So even though at the end of the day, they probably didn't want it to go the way that it did, you have to look at the fact that the actions that they originally initiated against you was to see you be harmed in some type of capacity on some type of level. When they saw that at once upon a time was having an effect, and then they saw how you was able to overcome, they was shocked. But it didn't stop these people. But see, this is why God is telling you to sit back and let him handle that. Because this is the season for vindication, for justice, for restoration, for peace in your life. You didn't deserve that. You still don't deserve it. There was a whole lot of jealousy. There was a whole lot of envy around you. At the end of the day, you did not know that these people had it out for you. But it was all because they were weak. They couldn't handle being around in your presence. They couldn't handle you. They couldn't handle the fact that at the end of the day, no matter how hard they compete, they cannot compare. They cannot handle your light. They cannot handle your generosity. They cannot handle the goodness that's in you. They cannot handle because of the evilness that was surrounded and dwelling and embedded in these people. So stop asking why, because I just told you why. It's no more why. It's a thanking God for the experience. Because let me tell you something. They know that that mess that they cooked up and that they worked up behind the scenes ain't working up in your life. But now they're going to other areas to attack you in other areas of your life, in areas of love, where they know they couldn't win in career and finance. And maybe they're attacking you in your career and finance because they couldn't win in love. But let me tell you something. God is telling you that at the end of the day, no matter what's going on in your life right now, you are on his time. And in due time, everything that these people thought that they was working up against you, everything that they thought that they was being able to have some insight on, they're not going to have. But see, in the meantime, between time, there are certain things that at the end of the day, he needs to work and it needs to handle and it needs to happen the way that he needs it to happen. So right now, if you're going through certain things in your life and you're saying, okay, God, you brought me through this. You brought me through my trials and tribulations. So why are these people still able to attack me in these areas? Well, are you connected to these people in some type of way? Because sometimes we can be a detriment to our own selves when God is trying to lead us away from people and pull us away from certain people and situations, and we trying to plug ourselves back up around these people. You wondering why? Because you're still connected to some of these people. These people get a satisfaction out of seeing certain things work in your life. They want you to be able to crawl back to them and ask them for help. They want you back struggling the way that you used to. They want to have some type of way to be able to be around you so that you're able to come back to them and tell them that whatever mess they're working up behind the scenes is working and manifesting up in your life. Now, if they're able to have that connection to you, the reason why they're able to have their way with you is because you're still connected to these people. There's something that you have to see. It's not enough for God to show you because he's shown you already. You're going to him and you asking him why. You're going to him and you paying prayers to him because you're feeling certain things in your life are not working. But see, he's trying to show you the reason and the people who are behind this so that you can separate yourself from these people. Are you willing to separate yourself from these people? Are you willing to do away with these beliefs that you have about you having to be loyal to certain people?